such a signature look that even if you had like a whole, like all these capabilities to make it look fantastic and wonderful, like what would you do with it?
I know when they first made it, they were talking about.
I was privy to some sort of knowledge, but unfortunately, I don't know any more than the fans do, which is what that teaser that dropped, and there's nothing about the plot or anything. A lot.
You know me as Bulma from Dragon Ball Z Light of Hope. But more importantly, we have both Kyle Hebert here and Dameon Clarke. So give them a round of applause.
Did you say Dragon Ball Z Idaho?
No.
Is that what you said? Oh,
No, Light of Hope. It was based on the History of Trunks movie.
Okay.
Yes.
But now that you bring up Dragon Ball Z Idaho, have you seen it?
Idaho?
It's
No.
great.
Idaho.
It's
That's
very weird.
That's where
whole
one of our
universe is
compadres has moved there recently.
Yeah, Roger
Craig
doing
Smith.
his own thing up there with Dragon Ball Z. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Heyo.
Idaho!
Hey-o.
Yes!
Idaho! Super Idaho!
Beautiful part of the world.
Yes.
Absolutely.
All right, so starting with Kyle, he's a voiceover artist that's been working for many years, ever since his debut as a DJ for Disney Radio back in the 90s. Yeah, oh boy.
Back in the
So
day.
were you doing a lot of voices on that, or was that
Yes.
just straight DJ work?
It was DJ and it was character voice stuff. So we would do like radio theater and we would just be on the air and I would just have all sorts of characters. And it was a playground.
Yeah.
It's just like not your typical top 40 DJ thing, but kind of that vibe. So all the DJs were trying to come across as hip older siblings. You know,
You
As we
and
try.
who was your partner?
Kara Edwards was on the air with me. Kara Edwards is the voice of Goten and Videl. And there's some other people from behind the scenes that worked at Radio Disney that have since been doing some stuff for Funimation for years as well. So that door opened for a lot of us in the radio side, which was pretty fantastic and making a dream come true. 'Cause I've been always wanted to do voiceover for animation.
Awesome.
Yeah. And so, like, for a lot of people, we're so used to the digital age where everybody can record stuff all over the place, but, you know, back before the internet and, like, all that kind of stuff, it was not as prevalent, and so the family seems a bit small.
We used to do it via fax machine.
Yeah, right?
Right? Yeah. Smoke signals.
Exactly.
No, but we actually did do. Were you there for the tapes, or did you?
Yeah.
read the,
So
what were they?
kids,
Beta
what
tapes or
tapes
something?
are.
Broadcast beta.
We got these big old tapes, I guess from Japan, right? And then there was a big deck, and then it wasn't, you know, beep boop bop, it was chunk. And so whenever we'd screw up a line or whatever, you'd have to wait like half an hour for it to queue up again.
Yes.
Yeah, wow, that's some old man.
Yeah.
And then we get on our horse and ride home.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. You know, uphill both ways. But David, so your career started more on the acting side for live action, film, and TV. So how did you get into voiceover work?
I don't know, like how do you get into voiceover work? You meet people and you audition for things, and I think you gotta want to do it first of all, right? And then if you want to do it, then you figure out how to do it. Well, that's a clever answer, wasn't it? No, but seriously, like you're like, how do I do this? For
Phone.
hello. Was that you, Chelsea?
No.
Nice, real professional. So I think when I moved to Dallas from Toronto, and I was working up there as like an assistant director, blah blah blah. And then I met my now ex-wife, moved to Dallas, and I thought, I don't know what I'm gonna do in Dallas, right? Bartend. Did that for actually a minute, but then I met Eric on an independent movie, and then Eric got me into Dragon Ball Z, and bing bang boom, here we are. With Kyle.
Yeah.
With you.
Nice.
Eric being Eric Bale. Trump.
Yeah.
Eric, Bev.
Yeah. And
Really interesting.
so Kyle mentioned that he always wanted to do voiceover work and always wanted to do character work. For you, is there any like character that you always wanted to voice that you haven't been able to
Archer, but I mean, there's no way you're gonna do better than H. John Benjamin.
Oh my God.
But you know, God forbid something happens to him. You know, God forbid something happens to him.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
I actually auditioned for Archer, but then you audition for crazy roles like that. No, never in a million years was I gonna get that.
No.
But you're like, oh, this is such a cool character while you're reading it. Those things come along once in a million years, right?
Yeah.
It's like a handsome Jack kind of whatever thing. It's like a freak thing. You don't write a lot of stuff like that. But yeah, I'd say Archer.
Yeah. And how about you, Kyle? Is there a voice that you have not been able to do yet that you've always wanted to?
Sure. I mean, I would die happy getting to do something in the Batman world or comic book cartoon stuff, or Star Wars. Somebody the random stormtrooper that just goes, ah! It's like, hey, that was me.
Yeah, you can be the new Wilhelm scream. We need a new one.
Yeah, we need a new Wilhelm scream.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, yeah.
So you guys weren't aggressive Dragon Ball Z fans to come into this. What was your nerddom kind of lay, right? So like, was there something that you grew up loving and got you into this industry?
Something made you want to be an actor, right?
Yeah.
The money. No, it was definitely. which is hilarious because that's not a lot of it there. But no, of course, yeah, there has to be, right? But I just don't know what that defining moment was in my past. But I mean, I remember Star Wars. I think was because every kid wanted to be Han Solo. I think that was kind of like, oh, you know what it was? Dukes of Hazzard.
Really?
Not a racist, by the way. I was way too young and I lived in Canada. No, it was, but I actually, this is how smart I am. I wrote a letter, like to Santa Claus, but it was to Dukes of Hazzard, asking if I could be on their show.
Dear Santa, please be on Dukes of Hazzard.
And I remember writing, and the sad thing is I was 19 at the time. No, I don't know. I don't know, I was like 5 or 6, I don't know. But I was like, dear Dukes of Hazzard, like I really thought it was kind of real, the Duke brothers, I guess. Luke and Duke. Is that right?
Bo and Luke. Duke.
Bo and Luke. I'm really good at yeehaws. It's weird how some things stick in your head from a kid. Like I don't remember any of my childhood, but for some reason I remember that letter. Anyway, I think so. Long story short, probably Dukes of Hazzard.
Yeah.
Because that, I mean, how fun did that show look, right?
Right? Yeah.
Every time we jump in the car.
Yeah, because there's no easier way to get in a car than sliding across the hood.
There's always a convenient mound of dirt somewhere.
Yeah. This, How about you, Kyle? What was your big fandom?
Nerddom. Yeah, Star Wars for sure.
Oh yeah.
But I grew up, as any kid would, into cartoons and all that, Looney Tunes, just learning about all that, and Mel Blanc voicing all those characters. That just kind of planted the seed from early on. It's like, I want to do this. And I actually was a Dragon Ball fan before we started.
Yeah.
So I started on there. So it's like I used to go around imitating the narrator.
Oh,
And then
really?
fast forward, I'm Gohan, and then suddenly I take over the narrator. We lost Dale Kelly. We didn't lose him like he died or anything. For whatever reason, he was no longer there. And they said, "Hey, Kyle, we heard your voiceover demo. Would you want to give it a shot?" Like, yes, of course.
You manifested that.
That's just crazy.
Give me some knuckles.
That's awesome.
Manifested. Put
You
it out in the
made
universe.
that happen, man.
Dude.
Yeah, and it's just so great because like it was
That's
so
awesome.
not cool to like anime or be any sort of flavor of nerd like back in the day, and now
No.
look at this, like it's amazing.
Yeah, nobody knew about that stuff back then.
No.
I'm like Dragon Ball. I didn't know there was a difference between anime and just like a cartoon. You don't call it a cartoon.
No.
Yeah. No.
You get punched in the throat.
Dear.
Yeah.
Start a riot at a con.
Sure.
Yeah. How dare you?
See, cartoons are animation, and anime is Japanese animation.
What do you call animation like? What's that show thing with the kid and I saw
Oh, that's
The Amazing World of Gumball?
J.K. Simmons is in it. It's a really
Avatar.
good Netflix. It's
No?
a Netflix show right now. The kids.
Oh, yeah, Avatar.
Thank you. What do you call it when you got a bunch of American artists kind of doing an anime style?
Yeah.
Ruby.
Ruby.
Yeah.
Is there a word for that?
What is it? What?
Wanime.
Wanime?
What did you say?
Wanime.
Wanime?
No, I think it's just animation.
Yeah,
What's
Boondocks
at that
is a-
point.
that's an
Okay, thank you
example.
for that.
That's an excellent example.
But
I'm
then,
surprised there's not a term for that.
yeah, there's probably at every level of term because then there's the ones that are like technically American paid for, but then
Yeah.
then it's made in
Yeah.
Japan and like so.
I agree with that.
Anime? Too many
The
words.
Netflix Voltron.
Yeah, right.
That looks like
With their powers combined. Yeah.
it looks like anime, but they were recorded as a group together, like a cartoon would be. So I think it was animated after the fact, as opposed to anime, where it's animated and then even the Japanese cast dub their own shows.
Yeah.
And you'll notice that because they don't always match the lip sync like we try to.
Yeah, not as great. But now there's this new technology to actually move the mouth however you want,
Yes.
which is awesome and yet terrifying because
Really?
who knows what can happen to it. Yep, there's several. There's one company called Flawless who's doing it actually for live action. So we'll see how the technology
Oh,
goes.
man,
But I'm
we are
sure.
so out of a job in the next 10 minutes.
Right?
Dude,
You know, it's
AI
hardcore.
voices, man, it's scary. They're getting good with that. So
For sure, man.
you log on to a website and you enter, even our voices on some characters are probably there, and you just type in, I want to go shopping, and then suddenly it
Yeah.
comes out, it's our voices, but we didn't say it. It's just the algorithm, and suddenly we're out of a job. That's a very real threat.
That's happening.
I really
For
don't
sure.
want Cell to be my GPS voice. That
Yes,
would
you
be
do.
terrible. No.
Turn that, bitch. You definitely want that.
Yeah, okay, whoever's recording this, I need that as my cell phone ring or something. Yeah, exactly. Check all messages.
There's a cash cow thing there. Funimation/Crunchyroll wants to do GPS thing on Waze, like they had.
Oh,
Samuel
yeah.
Oh, you
Jackson
mean like
or whatever.
an Alexa?
Yeah, yeah.
Like
You know,
an Alexa.
Alexa, basically,
Alexa, Siri.
basically find me that Dragon Balls.
Yeah.
But I have the DragonBall narrator.
Yeah.
Turn left now. Make everything sounds epic.
Last up, when you missed this turn.
Paw Patrol, I know this just because my agent's got these grandkids, whatever, and I'm in her car, I'm getting driven around, and she's got Paw Patrol giving her navigation, which is a problem because they're like, turn left now, and then it goes, go, 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 and you're like, what the hell is going on? Like, turn this off, it's stressing me out. It's such a horrible idea, isn't it?
Yeah.
Add a sense of urgency where there is no need for it.
Well, because I know Arnold Schwarzenegger is a voice for GPS. Like,
Yeah.
turn left, turn left again. Ow, ow, ow.
3 miles, turn right.
Yeah. So
That's interesting.
we now know how you guys got into voiceover work. Is there anything that you would say to anybody up and coming of like any suggestions you'd have for them?
Never heard that question before. Never.
Not once.
Once. I want to be a voiceactor.com. Great website.
EdgeStudios.com, also a good website.
Yes.
Yuri Lowenfeld's got a good website.
Yes. Yeah.
Do you have a website?
Not about voice acting. No, but
It's
there
such
are
a loaded
people.
question, right?
There are people that are in our industry that are now teaching, like Steve Bloom.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the Funimation people actually do some coaching stuff. They may be online because of the pandemic, so look into that. Google is your friend. But yeah, the thing about voice acting is not doing voices, it's acting. And then, portraying every performance and bringing the script alive through just words as opposed to physicality. Being on the stage, on camera and all that. It's a whole different beast.
Yep.
So, and it
there's
takes
different
time.
genres of it, right? It's-
Very different genres.
Right? I mean, doing ad copy is like, I still don't know how to do that.
Yeah. There's a radio way of announcing a commercial, like, come on, Sunday, 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 everybody, Or just sounding like Joe Schmo trying to sell you Starbucks.
Which is hard, like, 'cause you have to make this ad agency copy,
Yeah.
and like, you really have to care about what you're talking about. And
You
it's
do.
sometimes impossible or very hard.
And they want real. They always say, nothing
Yeah.
cartoony, even though cartoony's in. We want realistic, grounded things. So it's like, so you want us to sound like we're not actors, but we have to train to be actors so that we can
They don't
pretend
know.
that we're not actors. I mean,
They don't know what the hell they want.
No.
They don't.
They ask for things they think they want, and then somebody gives them something, and they go, "Oh, that's good," but it's never probably anything
Right.
close to the breakdown they put out. But no, that's the thing, is acting, right?
Yeah, and you have to have a thick skin because 9 times out of 10, they're not going to pick you.
Especially
Not
for
because you're
voice.
bad, but you're just not what they're looking for. And you
Yeah.
could go for years. You could take every class in the world, have a great agent, have a great demo, and still have nothing to show for it.
Because it's worldwide now with the Webinar. I mean,
God,
it's
yeah.
just like, forget it.
We now have the technology to fairly cheaply be able to record from home in as long as you've got the good, walk-in closet or a recording space and an engineer says, yep, it sounds professional, broadcast quality. You could literally be anywhere to
Yeah.
record for projects. That way.
Like Idaho.
Like Idaho.
Like Idaho, for example. Yeah.
DragonBall Idaho! I can't wait to see that.
Oh my god, let's get busy working on that, shall we?
Yeah, right?
Let's do
Do
that.
it. And then there's obviously like podcasts. It's very easy to do from home. And speaking of podcasts,
Yes.
you're not DJing anymore for Disney Radio, but you do have your own podcast. You want to tell everybody about it?
I do a podcast called the Intergalactic Boombox. So it's just me doing geek news, but I also talk to myself in other voices. Not the ones you know me for, though, because I don't want to get sued. So I create characters.
Understandable.
I have alien characters. I have a conspiracy theorist that sounds like J.K. Simmons, actually. So
Cool.
like, "Oh, his name's Conspiracy. So,
Conspiracy. I love
Conspiracy.
that.
So search out the Intergalactic Boombox, kids. It's about 15 minutes each episode. It just posts every Friday.
cool.
I just talk about nerdy stuff and hopefully make it fun and theater of the mind type thing with sound effects and music. It's usually me just doing a cappella music, multi-layered with fake drum noises and because you don't want to get taken down for copyright.
The more you talk about this, the more I feel like I just dropped acid.
Yeah.
You do. It gets worse.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
I gotta check this out.
You're doing worse. Yes, the Intergalactic Boombox. Please check it out. Thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah, of course.
Never get to promote that.
Yeah.
It's like, how do you get people to listen? Like, I don't know. I promote it like crazy on social media, and yet a year later,
Yep. Nothing.
crickets.
Yep.
Now there's some listeners, just not a lot.
And Dameon, you're on a lot of TV shows, like going through and like a lot of huge fan favorites. You're on Supernatural, like for the longest you been on How to Get Away with Murder, Graceland, you're even on Castle. Has there been anything that you've been on that you've been like super stoked because you were a fan of the show and you're like, yes, I get to be on the show now?
24 was probably a pretty oh wow moment where you're on set and you're in a scene, but you're like, I'm in this scene right now. This is like, you're totally not supposed to do that, by the way. Yeah, 24. Supernatural is a good example. There's been a few. Castle's another one.
Yeah.
But I mean, I get to play serial killer. A lot of serial killers for some reason. I don't know why.
It's like they watch Dragon Ball Z or something, I don't know.
How about Scanner Darkly?
Oh, that was nuts.
That movie that looks animated, but it's just drawn over
That's a
live
good one,
action.
actually. That's a good example. Forget about that one. Yeah, because the cast too. Like, what a weird table read that was, where you got Woody Harrelson, Robert Downey, and then you got Keanu Reeves, Winona Ryder, yada yada yada. And you walk into that table read and you just forget it.
What?
Yeah, because
Is
it's
this real?
impossible. Yeah, it's like, how do you act like that? That would be like being in a scene with Daniel Day-Lewis for me. I think I don't know if I can handle that. Like, you maybe get into it after a little bit, but you're like, you're Daniel Day-Lewis.
Yeah.
And then you'd be watching them like, oh my God, you're so good. So my line now? Okay, cool. Yeah.
Crap.
Certain, that was a cool movie. You ever
Yeah.
see Scanner Darkly?
I did.
That was wacky, huh?
That was a crazy one.
A Philip K. Dick novel that's kind of fun too.
Yeah.
Right? Guy that did Blade Runner. Yeah.
Are there any TV shows or movies that you're like, I really just gotta get on that show?
It's a really Black Mirror.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for that to come back. What's going on? Oh, The Boys.
The Boys.
Come on.
The Boys is amazing.
Oh, I can't wait for that to come back. Actually, there's a ton now that I think of it. Yellowstone.
Yes.
Ooh.
Give me a horse and put me on that show forever, man. Oh, how awesome is that show? Yeah, a ton now that I think of it, yeah.
How about you, Kyle? Any shows are on right now that you want to do voiceovers for?
I don't know, any and all.
Yeah, right.
Just
Give me
all
that
the
work.
Marvel stuff, all the Star Wars stuff. Again, just be happy.
Yeah.
I don't know how to crack that nut, man. It's hard. It's hard to get in.
Yeah, that
with
Disney wall
anybody.
is aggressive.
Well, the cartoon wall is.
Yeah.
Because I was telling
So
many
competitive.
people that the folks that are doing it successfully have been doing it for decades. They know a good thing when they have it. They're not going to give that up unless they die or retire. And I wouldn't blame them. I wouldn't do the same. I would do like them too. So it's like, I've been in this business for 22 years, and there's so much that I've done, but there's so much I still want to do. I want to say, yeah, I'm on a Cartoon Network, Warner Brothers, Disney / whatever, DreamWorks type thing. And, it's always going to be an uphill battle unless you're a super big celebrity who an agent just has to make a call for you. But, we're trying to.
That's the thing, your agent has to be able to get into those doors.
Yes.
You can be as talented as all get out, but if you're not, you don't have the right agent, it's kind of...
The agent is your door that will unlock the opportunities, not guaranteed, because some people think an agent's job is to get you work. That's not correct. An agent's job is to supply you with opportunities to get cast. Up to that, it's up to fate. You don't know. You just do the best you can at every possible audition, and you know, it's up to fate.
Gigantic wrestler out there that terrifies me.
Wrestling.
Hi guys! That dude that looks exactly like Thanos.
Yes.
He looks exactly like Thanos.
He does.
Did you shake his hand?
No.
It's a catcher's mitt.
Almost afraid
So
to.
he's like a different human being. I'm like, are you from this planet? He's so nice guy though.
Yeah.
Yes.
Speaking of that, though, because we know that Dragon Ball Z fans are some of the most intense and most widespread fans, right? Because we had Sammy here, who's a wrestler who is absolutely crazy about
Yes.
Dragon Ball Z.
Well, they're widespread.
Yeah,
They're
and it's like
widespread.
he's been trying to get on these panels, but he's so busy signing stuff. But for you guys, have you ever had somebody like a celebrity or somebody that you would never have expected them to be a Dragon Ball Z fan and like approach you and be like,
All
oh my
the
god.
time, dude, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what kind of
Yeah.
what people are you like? Oh, really? Oh, well, thank you, but didn't expect that.
Yeah. Got pulled over by a cop once. It wasn't for that. It was a traffic violation. But this was like when like Borderlands was like, I don't know. It's still a thing, obviously.
Yeah.
But anyway, long story short, he recognized my name and my voice, and that was interesting.
I mean, the real question is, did you get out of the ticket?
Nope.
Nope.
Yeah. Anyway, big fan.
Yeah,
Thanks for nothing.
right.
But yeah, man, for sure. There's tons of crazy, like the like you said, widespread fan base. It's
I think Travis said that he met Ewan McGregor and said that he was a fan of Full Metal Alchemist.
that's awesome.
I'm like, what is life?
That's awesome.
And years after I was no longer with Radio Disney, I was listening to like an interview with Metallica and Lars Ulrich or something saying, what's something your kids are into? They listen. He was like, no, Radio Disney. Good God, you know. It's like wow. Well, at least they know about it. They may not be happy, but.
Yeah, anime really, especially during the pandemic, gained a much broader audience too.
Yeah.
So there's a good chance, probably a larger chance that you're gonna talk to somebody that if you just mention it, that they're going to be a fan or know of it than not, especially compared to like, I don't know, what, even 4 years ago, 5 years ago.
Yeah, because the people that were kids watching Dragon Ball Z, for instance, they're now grown up, they're having kids of their own, and they're getting jobs in the creative field, and some of them have the power to cast, and it's like, hey, I'm going to call my favorite voice actors. It's like, hey, sweet.
And then you've got, movies being made out of Borderlands, right? So I'm sure Eli Roth is a fan, or he wouldn't be doing it otherwise. Maybe the cast, I don't know who in that cast.
I hope they throw you
Is a
guys a
fan.
bone. Would be nice.
Yeah, I did some poking around. Apparently, we're not.
Not a thought?
You got to try though, right? No,
Oh.
it's a totally different universe, timeline, whatever. I don't know what
Oh.
the heck they're doing with it.
Oh, okay.
Like
Yeah.
Kevin Hart's playing Henson.
Oh my
I
God.
don't know. Just made that up.
Like, we tried at the time when Dragon Ball Evolution was just an idea. Funimation tried to, it's like, you have the whole cast, and it's like Fox said, no, we don't want anything to do with it.
I would rather talk about Bio Broly than talk about that movie.
That's true.
Yeah, heartburn. I heard the moans. Yeah.
I stupidly just thought, I asked my agent, it's like, could you ask the guys at Fox if they have any interest at all in having the DBZ narrator, like, narrate the commercial for Evolution? And then, again, this is before the movie came out and everyone saw what a train wreck it was. And it's like, yeah, no, they have no interest.
But you don't know though, because they could be a fan and go, "I love Kyle Hebert." There is a possibility that could happen. Like, yes, if
So it's worth trying.
It absolutely is, because
Yeah.
if you've got an exec or a director or somebody that's like, yeah, they're a big enough fan,
Yeah.
it's worth a shot. You never know, right?
Yeah, it's just
Gotta
like
try.
it's just like Ryu and Ken being in Wreck-It Ralph. That's because New Gen Pictures, where we did the dub for the game Street Fighter 4, Jonathan Klein knows someone at Disney, and he put it's like, hey guys, we just saw the trailer. It had Bison and all that, and Zangief. Just so you know, we have the whole dub cast in town. And then I guess that helped plant that seed. So
That's all
we
that
got to
happened?
do. Yeah,
From Jonathan?
yeah, I think
Nice.
so.
Good looking out, Jonathan.
Yeah.
Well, now technically, since Disney bought up Fox, does that mean they have the live action rights? So is Bulma technically A Disney princess?
A Disney princess.
Well,
Why not?
You're dating, you're married to a prince.
Yeah, I mean,
Yes.
exactly. I mean, she's the queen,
Oh,
obviously.
Yeah, well, now she's Queen Bulma.
Yeah.
But that could be your in with Disney now.
That could be.
Maybe like if they start picking something up, be like, hey, you want the announcer voice from the original series? Come
It's
on.
like, hey guys, hey guys.
Hey.
Who do people tell you that you remind them of besides Bulma?
Emma Stone is
Driving
one.
me crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, what else?
I don't know, like over the years it's changed so much. I got nothing. I don't know what to tell you.
Ah, it's driving me nuts.
All
Anybody? Any suggestions from the audience?
who
You
do
remind me
I?
of the person from Life is Strange.
I don't know that one.
I've heard of that game, but I haven't played it yet.
All right, I don't
All right,
want
enough about me.
I just
Now.
derailed this. Sorry.
So do we have any questions from the audience, by the
Stream
way?
of consciousness.
Yeah, let's start with you right here.
What was it like screaming all the time, like when you did the voice? Like, because I've seen the shows, you guys really screaming.
Did you ever pass out?
No, almost did.
Almost did.
I got real dizzy. Cell screams a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you got out because remember back in the whisper room days or whatever. Luckily, those things are pretty small, so you can kind of put your hand out to like, you know what I mean. But who ate it? Sean.
Sean did.
Sean went out. He went down. I think Sabat.
Eric Vale,
Did Eric go down?
possibly. Justin Cook.
Did you
I mean,
guys have
Justin?
any like, what do they say, like apple cider vinegar or anything like on the ready? Like, did you have any sort of like healing process for yourselves after screaming for that long?
Lozenges.
Tea. Singer Saving Grace, this throat spray.
Oh, those are
Green
Tastes
apples for
awful,
clicking.
Yeah.
But nowadays, Chinese cough syrup. That's the magic stuff.
Good to know.
They call it Hulk juice because Fred Tatasciore, the animated Hulk voice, he discovered it and says, man, it helps you survive.
Amazon?
Yeah, go to Amazon, type in Chinese cough syrup, and the brand will
They're
come
not
up, it's the
sponsored,
very
but
first one.
do it.
Not sponsored, but yeah.
Anymore. Even the cough syrup's outsourced.
Voiceover endorsement,
What
could that
the
happen?
hell?
Like, I use a Neumann. Endorsement deals.
Vicks Vapor Rub. You rub that in the
Oh,
inside
yeah.
of your throat.
On the
On
inside?
the inside.
Yeah, try it.
Yeah, try it. No, do not try that at home, kids.
That's-
No.
Let me see what kind of mischief I can get up to here.
And if you
Tabasco
it's
sauce
him
is
that had nothing to
good.
do with it.
What, bleach works great.
Stop talking. Turn off this microphone. Go ahead.
Kyle, my question's for you. How do you feel that Gohan looks like he's going to be the central figure in the next Dragon Ball Super movie?
It looks amazing,
Yeah.
but I don't know if that's true or not.
Oh.
Because I've seen the trailer, we haven't recorded yet, so I honestly don't know how big or small his role is. I mean, they say, rumors, I mean, I'm hearing rumors that
And even if
sells
you
in
didn't
there,
know,
but
dude,
even if I did know, no,
Yeah.
that's true.
you guys know that.
We're under NDA, but I
can't-
mean, the world's gonna know in a matter of weeks, because
Yes.
the Japanese version comes out,
Yeah,
and
they postponed that, right? It was supposed to be like a month ago, the red carpet for that, for the Japanese version.
then they got hacked. Toei got
That's
hacked.
why. Okay, because I got the notification for the red carpet, and I was like, yeah, and then I was like, no, darn it.
Psych!
Yeah.
And the red carpet, for some reason, is in Idaho.
Yeah, right? Wait a second.
Call back.
It's all coming together.
That's gravity.
Yeah, you hold it fine, yeah.
Gold.
I was gonna ask, what is your guys' like favorite blooper moment that you guys had while like recording?
Favorite blooper moment while you're recording?
He can actually really talk about the ones you really like.
Mostly
yeah,
from the
because they're
cursing, or?
naughty.
Yeah, they're not family
They're not,
friendly.
they're naughty.
Naughty.
Blooper moment. Not super common when you're dealing with things like anime and whatnot, right? Because we have a script.
You have a script, but we don't get to rehearse ahead of time, so it's like cold read. Like,
That's true.
so you might mispronounce something, and everyone deals with flubs their own way. Some people just break into song like I do, like.
Where you save all this
Or you
stuff.
change the line on purpose just because you think at
Yes.
the end of the year it'll make some kind of reel at a rap party or something.
If you're in a scene with somebody and they tell that other actor that's
Yeah.
in the scene to record something,
Yeah.
they'll leave a bomb for you, and that means they're
Yeah.
gonna play it, and something completely out of left field, not the scripted line, is gonna do
Yeah.
that to make you blow your line.
Because sometimes we'll have the option of like whoever ends up recording first is kind of screwed because they don't have any lead-in lines or something from another character. So if like Kyle goes before me, then I might have the option of listening to Kyle's delivery, talking to my character, which is obviously advantageous. so he can leave some, if he knows that I'm gonna listen to it, he can leave something stupid for me
Yes,
that's gonna hurt my feelings
that's right.
Yeah, because
more than likely, because Kyle's a very mean person.
and generally you guys never are recording at the same time. Like you don't have each other to bounce off of.
No.
No, that's as good as it gets.
Yeah.
So
That's
if we're
the-
doing our job right, you watch the finished product and it sounds like we're in the same room, but
Bless you.
the truth is, we are recording in a vacuum. It's like, at most, for the most part, we're hearing the Japanese version as our reference. And, you know, even if they do have the other character in the scene, I've noticed a lot of directors will just mute that and we're just still on our own.
Well, they forget, just forget about it or whatever, and you have to
Yeah.
remind them, like, is there any way you can leave me in from anything? Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, because we don't know context. We don't know how big or small to make something. It's
Yeah.
like, there are 50 different ways to say the word no. You know, no, no, no.
So then that's
You know,
kind of the
what's
rule of
intent?
three, and like give a few different versions so they can kind of monkey around with it in the editing room to figure out blah, blah, blah. I'm sorry, I just put myself to sleep.
Yeah.
But you have more freedom when it's a cartoon. But in anime,
Yeah.
it's like maybe the line may be overwritten or underwritten. So we have to still keep the intent of the line. We can't just totally change it arbitrarily. And people will say, how come it says this in the subtitle, but you changed it to this? It's like, well, it has to fit the mouth flaps. And, you know, there is a concerted effort to make it, you know, conversational so that a mainstream English-speaking audience won't say, well, this is very Japanese specific, especially in a show that's set in an alien world or something completely different like Dragon Ball. It's like, that's not America, it's not, is it even Earth? I don't know. It's it's an alternate world. So.
Yeah, because there's like dinosaurs, but there's also like
Acid.
pet people. You know what I'm talking about? Like the dog with the
Acid
governor.
trip.
Yeah, just all that kind of stuff.
Acid trip.
I
Yeah.
voiced that dog too.
You voiced that
That
dog
was one
too.
of the very first things I voiced there was King Furry.
Yes, King Furry. That's right. Lorenza.
There's a joke there, that's so easy.
I know. Back then I didn't know what a
Low
furry
hanging
was.
fruit.
Yeah.
Yes, it believes Sarah is a threat to the city.
Yeah.
He's still known as King Furry online in certain German websites.
All right, moving on. There's just kids in the audience. Go ahead.
So I've talked to both of you. You know, obviously my main reason for being here is for both of you specifically because my favorite character is Future
Thanks, dude.
Gohan, and obviously both of you have played the role. Now, obviously talking to you both individually, every time I mention him, you guys always say Ultimate Gohan. Is there a reason for that?
Well, there's two. You see, do I get that confused? Because Ultimate Gohan and Future Gohan are the same thing, or
Yeah.
am I screwing that up?
They are
Yeah.
the same thing.
Right, the one-armed Gohan.
Yeah,
Yeah. So both of those things are correct, right?
I believe so. So
Okay.
when I hear people talk about the Majin Buu saga and they refer to him as Ultimate Gohan, it's like, maybe they're thinking that because of the outfit he's wearing?
I don't know.
They might be the same?
I don't know. Is that the oldest iteration of Gohan? Is History of Trunks? Is that as
It's
old
gotta
as you
be.
get, right?
I think he
I
is
think
older
so.
than the show has shown him to be, right?
No, well, yeah, I guess technically at this point, but like Dragon Ball Super, we're getting a little bit past that age now.
So, yeah, so
Exciting.
it's like multiverse before multiverse became a
Yeah,
thing.
exactly. All right, go ahead.
This is to Kyle. I was wondering, well, how was it to work with Christopher Ainers?
Oh, Ayers? Chris Ayers?
Yeah, how was it?
Well, I wish I would have known if we got to record together, but we didn't because in anime you have to record one actor at a time. So he would do his lines in his own session. I would rarely see them because at the time, for years ago, the actors would either have to live in Dallas or fly out there to Dallas. Like some of us, like Sean lives out here, I live out here, Dameon lives here. So if we had stuff back in the day, like Dragon Ball Z Kai or something, we'd have to fly to Texas to record for that specifically. Nowadays, the tech exists. We can do it from here. It saves a lot of time and money.
They still like us to fly out though on occasion for certain
They
things because
do.
you just kind of get an extra spice to it or something. I don't know. Just-
Something.
yeah.
Was Resurrection F like that? Like you guys like didn't? Because that was kind of like.
I believe that, yeah, I flew to Texas for that, even though Gohan's hardly in it, so I think it was done in 15 minutes. And he's not
Back
Broly
Back in
at
that
all.
tracksuit, just rocking it out.
Tracksuit Gohan. That's nice.
All right, some more hands.
All right.
Yes.
There's a new version of Gohan tracksuit Gohan. Ultimate Future
Resurrection
good.
F.
Yeah, it's true.
Tracksuit.
Have you guys ever met the original voice actor, the Japanese voice actor?
Yeah, I met a few of them.
Super cool, man.
Yeah.
Bit of a language barrier, I'm gonna be honest, but
Yeah, we have to have a translator.
but super cool people for sure.
We met Piccolo, Vegeta, Gohan, Goten,
Goku's all
Goku. They're all the same.
Yeah. God, she's so wonderful in person.
Asuko Nozawa.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the first time I've ever like fangirled, because I was always like, when you see these old, videos of Beatles concert and girls are like, ah, in the front row, I was like, I never do that. And then I went to, I think it was Resurrection F, the red carpet they did in LA, and she was there,
Yeah.
and she did the Kamehameha. Like, somebody asked her to do the Kamehameha, and I was like, yes! Like, oh my mind!
Yeah.
She's
It's like
pretty
footage
great.
from an Elvis concert.
Yeah. All right, I did see more hands. Sorry, we're taking our time with it. Yes, back here.
Favorite line from Cell and Gohan?
Ah, yes. What is your favorite
Now
line?
you die! Except not really.
Now you're done.
Where did that come from? You're a lot stronger than I thought you were. With one arm yet. What are you, 10 years old? This is embarrassing.
Right.
That line.
Mine is Gohan's Clint Eastwood line, Fight you? No, I want to kill you. It's iconic. And then he's gimped.
Yeah, you don't be too guys who got popular thing in Dragon Ball Z is getting a little too cocky
Yeah.
and then having your ass handed.
Vegeta, every time.
Yeah, pretty
Did I see one more hand over here? Just want to make sure. Okay, go for it.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
It's great to see you again there, Kyle.
Oh,
But
hi.
this is a question to mostly both of you, but you guys know about the Team 4-Star Abridged series.
Here we go.
But I wanted to go ask about. But
I owe you $10.
I wanted to go ask about this, but sorry about this, but basically I know that you did the voice for, I believe, Santa, Kyle, but what was it like working with Takahiro 101? I'm trying to remember all the names, including the Kaiser Neko and the rest of the crew for the Abridged series.
Well, they DM'd me on Facebook and said, we know you can't play your actual Dragon Ball characters, but would you be Santa in our Tree of Night Christmas special? I was like, sure. So they sent me the script. I recorded on my own from my apartment and sent them the MP3.
They're a fun group of dudes.
They are. They're good guys. They're really, really
Sorry
fun.
they had to stop.
Yeah, I missed them very much.
That copyright gray issue, the gray area there, it's like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Agreed.
There's a reason there's not a 4th episode of Light of Hope.
Don't!
Don't.
But Idaho, however.
And I know. Just keeps on going.
Yes. All the potatoes.
Thank you.
Of course.
Thank you.
Any other questions? I feel like I keep missing them.
Actually, to Balma, to that question, what's your favorite line?
Oh my gosh, my favorite. Okay, so actually, I'm such a nerd. For my senior year quote, I did the English version of Vegeta when he said, "I believe it's toad stopping time." when he's like, going after Ginyu, so it's one of my favorite lines. But also, one line that from the original series that just blew my mind. I was like, "Oh, this is absolutely terrifying." Is when Sean, when Goku first goes Super Saiyan. And he says to Frieza, "Now you will see the horror." I was like, "Good God! Oh, okay, Goku, let's do this." But yeah, I would say those are two of my favorite like DBZ lines in general.
Nice.
All right, yeah. Any other questions for? Yes, you sir.
Can we get a Cell and Gohan Kamehameha?
Oh, I hate you so much. At the end of the day,
what you gotta
Sunday, this guy.
This guy.
All right, you ready?
But I feel like Cell might be bored with it just the whole time too, so you can do it.
He could.
Yeah.
I'd have to just go full force though.
Nice.
You ready?
Sure.
3, 2, 1.
I feel very lightheaded. excited. And again, are we Idaho?
I think that is the perfect way to wrap up this panel.
Right?
Thank you all so much.
Thank
for
you! Thank you, Kyle!
Yeah, right, I was glad that you guys backed off from the. So yeah, guys, you have about 20 more minutes on the show.